I was looking to make stew from the pronghorn that we had harvested from New Mexico last August. I found this amazing recipe for venison stew that required bone broth. I wanted to make the broth from our pronghorn, but it was something I had never done before and at first seemed a little intimidating until I found this recipe. Since then, I have used it 4 times on both pronghorn and venison, and it turned out amazing. Even though it takes about 24 hours to make, the actual time to prepare it is super quick. You want to gather all your bones from your game, making sure to keep a little bit of meat on the bones. You're going to want to make sure that you have these bones sawed in half. This will allow the marrow to come out in the broth. Now you're going to pull out a roasting pan and place your bones in there. I rub avocado oil, salt, and pepper all over the bones. Now I use avocado oil because it has a high heat rate before it starts smoking. This way you can roast the bones without having the oil burn. Place them in the oven at 400 for an hour. After the hour is up, remove the bones from the oven and place them in a large stock pot. You're going to cover the bones with water all the way to the top and maybe about an extra 2 inches from the bones. You're going to let it simmer over a medium to high heat. Once it gets close to boiling, reduce the heat to a low simmer. Skim the foam off the top and let it cook for 22 and a half hours. Yes, that's right, 22 and a half hours. This is going to bring all that marrow out of the bones. Now while the stock is simmering, prep the rest of the ingredients to go into the pot. So you're going to be prepping 1 large sprig of fresh rosemary, 1 tablespoon of cracked pepper, 2 sprigs of fresh thyme, 4 bay leaves, 1 large onion cut in half, 3 large carrots, I usually just cut them in half, 3 celery sticks cut in half, and then 1.5 cups of parsley, or just like a bushel of parsley, and 4 fresh garlic cloves. After the 22 and a half hours, you're going to pour the rest of the ingredients into the pot and let it continue to cook for another 90 minutes. Once that 90 minutes is complete, take the pot off the heat and begin to discard the larger pieces of bone and veggies from the pot with tongs. Let's get out whatever you can with those tongs. Once you have removed all the bigger pieces, fold a cheesecloth and place it over a large bowl or pot. Anything that won't melt and that will hold all of the broth. You're going to start ladling the broth into the bowl. This way it's going to remove all the little bits and pieces that are left over. Now once your broth has been strained of all the little bits and pieces, you're going to salt it to taste. Once the broth is cooled, I used mason jars to store it and freeze it. You just want to make sure that you leave about 2 inches from the top so it doesn't overflow. They say that bone broth can last about 12 months in the freezer, but I know in my house, this stew that I make uses up the broth probably within a couple months. And that's how easy this is. If you guys are looking to see the stew recipe, I have the link below, and that's about it. It was super easy. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a comment if you liked it or if you have any other suggestions. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to get updates on our adventures. Thanks for watching.